Welcome back. You might not be the only one enjoying the fruits of your labor. Garden bugs are coming out in full force. In this week's In the Garden, Charlie and Sharon show us some tricks for keeping those unwanted pests out.
So what are you giving me to hold here?
It's a science experiment.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost Japanese beetle season.
Yeah.
Pretty soon the adults will be out and they'll be eating roses and basil and raspberries and everything in your garden.
These are not Japanese beetles, but they're...
Well, they're not the adults, but I was digging around and look what I found.
Yeah.
All the little grubs, the little C-shaped grubs, kind of a pale yellow color to them.
They're gross.
They're in the soil. They're in the top levels of the soil right now. So now is the time to control for Japanese beetles.
Control the grubs and you won't have as many beetles later.
Exactly,
Gotcha. Okay.
right. So if you want to do it in an organic way, the best thing to do that I found is using parasitic nematodes.
Okay.
And these are microscopic little creatures that come in a solution. They actually come in a little ball like this in a sponge. And you wring that into a pail of water and then you put it in a hose end sprayer like this one. And then you spray it around the areas where the Japanese beetle adults were feeding last year. So usually around the roses and the raspberries and the grapes and all those kind of things. Don't worry about the other areas of your yard. It doesn't really matter. They're not going to be over there. If you spray it in really well, do it before a rain, it'll be great. But if you don't have rain coming, spray it really well, then water it in for a couple days. What ends up happening is that these little microscopic creatures the nematodes go into the soil and they parasitize these grubs.
Okay.
And they can find them really easy now because they're right near the surface.
Okay.
So this is something you need to do pretty soon though, because by July or end of June, July, they'll be turning into adults and then it'll be too late for that.
Gotcha.
Now, another thing you could do is use the Japanese beetle trap. Oh, don't tell me about it. I know. Oh, I hate the Japanese beetle traps. They just attract all the beetles to my yard. And that's true if you don't use them properly. So most of these traps that you see for insects are really there as monitoring devices so that commercial growers know when to start spraying.
Yep.
But some of them, like the Japanese beetle trap, is now turned into a control device. But you have to use it the right way. So first of all, I would only use it if I had a big yard or if you're going to have like a whole community of people doing it together. And that way you can put them a couple 100 feet away from your gardens. And that way, as
it attracts them that way instead of into your garden.
That way, and ones coming in, because they can fly in for miles around, they will come in and they'll hit the trap first. Other thing you have to remember is to clean the trap out. Don't leave it there smelly and stinky all summer. They're not going to want to come to that. And also, the Japanese beetle loves to fly low, not up high where we are, but down like 6 to 8 inches off the ground.
Okay.
So when you put the Japanese beetle trap up, make sure you keep it really low. That's
just a frame for one of those for sale signs, right?
How did you know that?
Because I have some of those. Yeah.
Yes, that's a cute little frame for sale sign. Perfect height for a Japanese beetle trap.
Okay.
So put them away from your garden, put them up now before the Japanese beetles come out so they go there instead of your plants.
Don't put them next to your neighbor's garden. They're not going to like it very much.
Get your neighbor on board doing the same thing. Do perimeter traps, and it actually can help that way.
Okay.
But if you put it right in your yard, you just 1 or 2 of them, it's not going to work.
Now, but when the Japanese beetles actually come, you need to pluck them off every day, right?
Yes, so that's the other thing. If you just have a few here and there, just go out in the morning with some soapy water in a pail and just drop them in there, and that'll take care of them.
Okay.